Would you feel more comfortable on an improv stage or canoeing in the backcountry? Find out which Book Interrupted member you're most like by visiting www.bookinterrupted.com/members.
We're doing another contest here on Book Interrupted. During the Seeing Red book cycle, we're giving away a Nixed Mixed Flow period underwear kit. To find out more, go to www.bookinterrupted.com/contests. Parental guidance is recommended because this episode has mature topics and strong language. Here are some moments you can look forward to during this episode of Book Interrupted.
And I even got like a little brush, and like cleaned out the holes and like.
Does anyone still do Kegel exercises?
Feels like you have this like wave of like, I'm going to pass out. It's so bad.
Just pouring down my legs.
I wear adult diapers.
Composting in my
Oh Lord.
in my tub.
Mind, body, and soul. Information is the goal. Try to learn something new without being distracted. Mind, body, and soul. Information is the goal. Try to learn something new without being disrupted. Mind, body, and soul. Inspiration is the goal. And we're gonna talk it out on Book Interrupted.
This book cycle is proudly supported by My Balanced Life, helping you find inner balance through individual, corporate, and community wellness programs. My Balanced Life offers wellness sessions across many disciplines, including Chinese medicine, which was discussed in this month's book, Seeing Red. Fully licensed and registered practitioners are available for one-on-one in-person treatments and virtual coaching sessions. As a valued Book Interrupted listener, you can book a free 15-minute consultation at www.mybalancedlife.ca/bookinterrupted. That's www.mybalancedlife.ca/bookinterrupted to learn more and book your free consultation. You can find the link in the show notes below.
Welcome to Book Interrupted, a book club for busy people to connect, and one that celebrates life's interruptions. If you'd like to join along, this book cycle's from March 28th to May 2nd. It's Lindsay's book pick, and we're reading the book Seeing Red by Kirsten Karchmer. Seeing Red breaks down the lies women have been made to believe about their periods and how to achieve a healthy cycle. All right, so it's personal journal time. Let's see what the members of Book Interrupted thought outside the group.
This is my second personal journal for Seeing Red, my book choice, and I decided to wear red lips. See? For the Seeing Red, even though it doesn't have to. Well, actually, I think that I read somewhere there's a history that lipstick, the reason we put lipstick on is so that our lips resemble our labia when it's aroused. So, similar regions. Anyways, red lips for Seeing Red. And so I got about a third of the way through, a little bit more than a third of the way through the book. I'm just eating this book up. I love it. It's really something, that touches and speaks to me, like I said in my first personal journal. And so let me tell you a bit about it. It starts with a little bit about her history and where she's from. She she had some history herself, having some issues and dealing with and learning about Chinese medicine and Eastern medicine. And she's worked with over quite a long period of time, women who have infertility issues, particularly, but also women who have period issues. So she's taken all the information that she's learned over all the time of seeing different clients and put together this book, which talks a little bit about periods, and then it goes into how you can use your period as a diagnostic tool in order to know what's happening in your whole body. And then also to use that to help your period, fix your period so that you can fix your whole body at the same time through the use of Eastern medicine and Chinese medicine, from what I understand, which is really cool. She really talks about empowering women, which I think is really important, of our own health, and that things are not normal, like what I was saying before, that people told me all the time that my issues are normal, and it's not normal, which I appreciate her saying many times. So she talks about the history of periods, which is absolutely crazy. If you are going to read this book for any, I'm sure there's lots of reasons you're going to read this book, but read the book for the section on the history of periods. It is insane. Like the way that men would write about women and how they were unclean, how they were inferior because they were on their menstrual cycle, that they'd have to not be able to see men for certain periods of time because they were oh, I don't know. Honestly, I started yelling numerous times about the book to Laird and just out in the blue being like, this is ridiculous, it's so stupid. Anyways, so I would recommend reading the book just for that section. I also really love she has these things called take action at the end of each section, which she talks about ways that you can actually do something. Things like telling your friends and people about the history of the period and talking more about periods so that it becomes a normal conversation instead of something that we need to hide. Which I really love. And then, she talks also about endometriosis and cramps actually leads to an increase in heart disease by 66%, which really freaks me out because I have both those things. So I'm really looking forward to reading more about it. So I've gotten to the point where she's talked about how using your period as a diagnostic tool, but not how to fix it. No, I'm excited to read it, but I'm also a little bit worried because I have been through everything. I've done everything. Numerous shots, numerous medications. I tried changing my diet, changing my exercise, eating foods that were only warming, eating like just everything. The list is forever. Different herbs, different vitamins, different minerals, different everything. I tried mental, I tried physical, I tried everything. Anyways, and I worry that this book, that she talks about how this will help 80% of women can be able to get this unicorn cycle that she talks about, the perfect period cycle. I just worry, and I'm going to get emotional again about this, that what if I am just the 20% that can't be helped? And that I'm stuck with this forever, and it's so debilitating and so horrible every single month to worry. You worry about it when it comes. When it comes, you're just trying to like breathe through it. And I just, I want this book to be something magical. And I think I'm putting a little too much pressure on this book to be, my answer to everything, because I think I gave up for a while. And now that I'm reading this book again, I'm hoping that maybe they give me something new and different that I can try. Anyways, so yeah, I'm ready to read the part about the biohacking period, and maybe I can take some of that stuff and put it into effect and see if it will help me.
This is the hat I wore for my period wrap, and I kind of like it, so I thought I'll wear it for this PJ, even though you cannot see my eyes, and I'm in disguise. Anyway, so PJ2, Personal Journal 2, Seeing Red by Kirsten Karchmer. I read it really quickly. It read really well. I'll say one thing. She does this archetype section about like trying to, I guess, help the reader find out where do I fit into all of this kind of information so like I guess they could apply it to themselves. And I didn't really find myself in there. So that was still kind of a category at the end. She's like, well, if you don't find yourself anywhere, then, I can't remember what she said about it, but I don't think it was very helpful. And then the other thing I was going to say about that. Okay, so my period is always 28 days. So I only started counting it, more recently when I was thinking about maybe having another baby. And I found out that, it's totally 28 days. I think I ovulated on the 14th, like total average stats. Oh, but the information about like the contents of your period, to build off of my last thing about the readout and how you kind of get a report, I got much more information about whether my period was quote unquote normal in terms of that, because she gives really detailed information about like how your flow should be, what it should look like, how long you should have your period for, all of that. So that's pretty cool. And I liked how she like explained how it matters if this is happening before ovulation or after ovulation, like your symptoms of whatever is going on with your period. Anyway, so that was good information. I like the idea of seed cycling, but I feel like I'm too lazy for it or something. I'm not doing it. We're supposed to be doing it as part of a BI challenge, a book interrupted challenge. But I have not got the supplies. Well, I have some flax, but it's rancid because I didn't put it in the fridge. So anyways, whatever. I could get on that train. Maybe I will, because it isn't that hard. You just have to work it into your routine. And actually, honestly, that's a fairly easy thing you can do. These 2 seeds once a day for half the month, and these 2 seeds the other. I can't remember what they are. Pumpkin seeds, flax seed, crushed flax seed. What else is in there? Don't know. Can't remember. But there's 4 seeds to cycle through, and they apparently help regulate your hormones, which might be a good idea. So there. Okay, that's all I got for today. Thank you very much, Kirsten Karchmer, for your dedication. You know what else I actually liked? One more thing. She had like an autoimmune disorder and essentially cured herself through nutrition, and I really like that. I like her holistic approach and how it relates to your period, right? And that is more information about that, how your period is giving you a report. Your whole body's connected, everything's interrelated. And then when you have your period, you get a sample, right? What's going on or how healthy you are. And I really like that because like this could like, say your period's whatever. Oh, you might have low iron and this and that and this. And it's like this domino effect. And some of these things don't have anything to do like with your uterus. They might have to do with your liver or the fact that you don't have enough water. Or the other thing that was really interesting to me, and I think I might have this, when she gave the example of the girl who had whatever, and it was a big mystery, and then it turned out she was just too cold or something like that. I feel like that could be for me. So I wear more sweaters now. Actually, I should have worn my sweater that I bought because it's gigantic and red and like velveteen, and it's delicious. Well, I haven't eaten it, but if wearing clothes was like food for your body, this sweater is delicious. Okay, that's it. Thank you and goodbye.
I love this book so much. So what I wanted to focus on this personal journal is that for the first time, I think ever, I like documented my period, because she talks about like how your period blood is supposed to look, like your menstrual blood and what it's supposed to look like, and your symptoms, like write them down. And I love her line that she says all through the book is my favorite. It's common, but not normal. So I love that. So for the first time this period, I did all that, and it's made me realize a couple things. Because in my last journal, I mentioned how I was getting my period every 20 days. I'm getting it every 23 days right now. And it reminded me that naturopath said I had a magnesium deficiency. And once I started taking powdered magnesium at night, it went away. And so I think I'm going to do that and see if it gets better. And I'm like that girl that has, which is new, happening right now, is that I get crazy bad periods for 2 days. Like, it's literally like I've been shot with a tranquilizer. I could barely function. I'm so exhausted. And headaches and chest pain, like migraines and chest pains and you name it. But then the last it's supposed to be 2 days, right? Because your period's supposed to be 4 days. But the last 4 days of that is like super light and brownie and all the stuff that's not supposed to be. Anyway, so I love this book so much. I believe it's an ecosystem situation as well. I tried to do the seed. I'm still going to try to do the seed cycling, but it is a bit challenging where I am. Sesame seeds, I only could find ground sesame seeds. It's like a little spice like this, so I got 2. And then I couldn't find flax seeds or pumpkin seeds. I couldn't find actual pumpkin seeds, but I found a pumpkin, so I took the seeds out and did them myself, so I have some pumpkin seeds. And for sunflower seeds, I think is the next one. Where's this? I think it's sunflower seeds. I don't have, but I have grown sunflowers on my farm. So maybe I could grow those too. Or maybe when I go into a big city, I can find them. Regardless, this book is giving me hope that this whole, I thought it was my perimenopause phase, which has been a nightmare for me, might not actually be something I have to endure for 10 years. Maybe it is not normal, but common. So I can't wait to talk to the author.
Hello, this is my personal journal number 2 for Seeing Red, which I'm not very deep into, not terribly deep, but I'm loving already. I'm only about 25 pages in, but just got to the history of periods and sounds really interesting. I really like the book. I think all the book choices, I was really most excited about this one, and I will probably gain the most practical knowledge. Really good learning will be had, really in a practical way, because let's face it, I got a period and I'm not afraid to say it. But apparently there was a lot of time in history that women were afraid. So that's been really interesting learning about, and really getting to know the history of it and how the shame surrounding your period has been around for an awful long time. I was trying to think of my own shame around my period. I mean, we all had that like friend in high school that like wore white shorts or white jeans or something or a white skirt and then got their period. Whew, it was a tough go. But I don't know. I don't know my own. I think in maybe younger life, I would be more embarrassed, or I at least wouldn't maybe talk about it too much around males, like, because I was worried about them being grossed out or uncomfortable. But now I don't really think about it at all. Though it's not like I feel like everybody's oversharing about their periods. But anytime I bring it up with someone, or like hormone related stuff, I always get a lot of interesting information and hear a lot about other people's periods. And with my girlfriends, it's pretty talked about. You know, it'll be interesting, I think, because I don't know anything on the topic of menopause. Like, no one talks about that at all. Obviously, probably because of the age group, so maybe we will be. But it's weird that like half of us are going to go into it. I mean, half the population, like women. I'm almost 40 and I don't know anything about it, and I'm perimenopausal, so that is kind of crazy. Anyways, I'm thinking I'm gonna like the book. I jumped ahead a little bit to page 95 to read about the seed cycling, which I've started doing, which is not my favorite. But I mean, amongst all the other things I put in my mouth, meh. I put grosser things in my mouth. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Let's talk more about this book because I can't stop recommending it to everyone who I cross paths with. Okay, maybe not everyone. To people who aren't menstruating, I am not recommending this book. But to everybody else, I seem to be talking about it a whole heck of a lot, and I'm not even done reading it yet. What am I really hung up on? It's the distinction between common and normal. I can't stop thinking about this distinction. A little bit is anger towards self, actually. Like, how could I not have been intelligent enough or in tune with myself enough to have made the distinction between common and normal prior to reading this book? Like, how conditioned am I to just accepting my lot in life, that you got these parts and no one really knows what to do with them or how to use them? So yeah, there is a little bit of being angry at myself, that I can think back to a few instances in my life where I did just accept the stupid answer that was given to me from some sort of medical expert. Just go on the pill. Okay. So yeah, I am quite obsessed with the uncommon or common and normal. I hope to be able to move on from this, but for the most part, it's just really like the author Kirsten has just kind of dropped a bomb inside my brain that has all of a sudden opened up all these potential new possibilities of thoughts or considerations or ways of looking at things. So thank you to the author for saying what was probably the most obvious thing that needed to be said, which is just because something is common does not mean that it's normal. If anything, this is a huge takeaway, and let's start spreading the word to all people with periods that doesn't matter if you can rhyme off 100 people who are having the same symptoms. If it's not working for you, it's not working for you, and it doesn't mean it's normal, regardless of what medical expert they may share with you. Keep investigating. Don't give up. I keep actually thinking back to, and I'm almost excited to read now, Leah's book recommendation, Sapiens, which is going to be kind of like looking at the evolution of the human being into, well, where we find ourselves now in the modern world. I'm kind of curious. I'm wondering if periods used to be this thing that, of course, when you think back, women would have to be able to survive in the tribes and be hunters and gatherers. And we wouldn't be able to say, oh, sorry, I need to take a few days off. I have a really heavy flow, or the pain is too much, or it's making me vomit or have horrendous migraines. I can't contribute towards the pack today. That doesn't make any sense. So obviously something happened along the way that has made us women accept that we're supposed to be uncomfortable and bloated and in a lot of pain during our periods. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
I'm about a third of the way through Seeing Red, and I'm really enjoying this book. This book stirs up a lot of anger. Anger at our society, anger at history, anger at the state of medical care for people with periods, not just in North America, but throughout the world. And anger at myself, because I'm part of the problem. I wouldn't normally bring up menstruation in conversation. It's something that I treat as very personal. And in fact, when I got my first period, I didn't tell anybody. I had some supplies from sex ed class, and I didn't tell my mom until I ran out. And she wanted to talk about it, and I didn't. And that's kind of where we left it. She didn't even get an opportunity to pass on any knowledge because I didn't feel comfortable talking about it. And I guess I still don't. I didn't realize how many women in the world are suffering so much. 84% of women have pain during menstruation, and 25% miss school or work because of it. That's astounding. And it's not good for women, it's not good for equality, and it's not good for society as a whole. Everyone should be angry about this, and something needs to change. And I guess this is the beginning, is this book. What else did I find astounding? 500 million people in the world don't have access to sanitary menstrual products like pads and tampons. What kind of a experience are these people having? It makes me sad, and it makes me, again, angry, and I'm happy that this book exists, that we're going to be talking about it. One more thing I want to say. I'm fortunately not one of the women that suffer from the conditions that she lists in this book. I didn't realize how lucky I was, and that doesn't make me want to read this book any less. In fact, it makes me want to read it more, to know what other people are going through, and to realize that the problem is much bigger than I even knew it was. Let's talk more about this and help all the people in our lives, because we all have somebody in our life that has a period. I can't wait to see what else is coming. I'm really looking forward to what she has to say.
This interruption is brought to you by Unpublished. Do you want to know more about the members in Book Interrupted? Go behind the scenes? Visit our website at www.bookinterrupted.com.
Book interrupted.
All right, here's a good one. Gross, though. I get interrupted by my greasy hair, reminding me that you haven't had a shower for quite some time. It's not that I'm well, I guess it would be a subjective experience of others of whether I'm gross or not. But I don't not shower because I don't value hygiene. I just get so busy sometimes, I barely look at myself, and then I catch this greasy fool in the mirror, and I'm like, ah! Anyway, so, I guess that's a good interruption because it reminds me to take care of me.
Book interrupted.
Let's listen in to this episode's group discussion.
Oh yeah. So, you guys, I watched both of those kits you can get in the mail, like the Diva Cup one. I want the Diva Cup one.
Yeah, I like the Diva Cup. But I like the underwear on the other one, but I love the Diva Cup.
Oh, I really do want to try that underwear. I've been meaning to order it. It keeps popping up on my Instagram feed.
But I just didn't like that it came in the pattern.
Yeah, I'm curious, is it going to absorb your whole period, or is it just for leaks?
I don't know. I want to get it and try it. I'm going to get it and try it. I'll report back.
Okay, good. Report.
Some people can use it for their period on later days, maybe not your first day, they say. But depending on your period, it depends on you. But then the thing is, if you're out during the day and then you need to change your underwear, you have to carry it around.
Yeah, just keep a baggie with you, because I wreck underwear all the time, so I always just keep a baggie with me for when I fucking wreck my underwear. Honestly, it's like my job is to ruin sheets and underwear. I wear adult diapers to bed. No, not always. On the first night of my period, I do.
I was like, is this a really serious conversation we should be having? Okay, let's get... We didn't know.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with this. Okay, here
here's another weird thing that happens to me around before I get my period. My ability to hold my urine goes down.
What?
And the hormone specialist said it's because my estrogen levels are dropping.
Get out.
Your, I guess, Kegel ability it becomes softer.
Other things that can weaken your ability to hold it are things like caffeine. So you might decide to switch to like decaf during that time.
No. No, thanks.
I'm just saying.
No.
Not caffeine, lack of estrogen.
But that's one of the reasons that people, postmenopausal women, have more urinary incontinence.
Really?
Oh, there you go.
Does anyone still do Kegel exercises?
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't put it together.
Now that you said that, I did one.
Yeah, me too.
Now that you said that, I'm like, oh.
I'm doing them right now.
Yeah, I can do it still. I don't often.
Yeah.
Still got it.
I know.
I'd say I'm still recovering from my second, from the birth of my second child. Like, I can't run or jump unless I've just gone to the bathroom or I'll pee myself.
Oh, me too. So I don't know why, but I found myself on a variety of trampolines. And before having a baby, that wasn't a problem. And after having a baby, that makes me pee my pants.
It absolutely does. Or it makes it feel like your uterus is falling out of you.
This is one of the reasons I want to get some of that period underwear, just to like wear it if I'm going to be doing something.
Yeah. My thing is, I think it's going to end up being really not breathable underwear, like sweaty, like a sweaty hell that you wouldn't want to wear if you could avoid it. But I will order it.
I thought the idea was nice.
Let's try Meredith, let's both order it, but 2 different brands.
Yeah.
So we can do a good synopsis. Because I've been, for like 2 years, been thinking about ordering
I've been thinking about it for a long time too. Like,
since it first showed up on my Instagram feed, I was like, what are you?
Where the lady was going through perimenopause and then she had this like just crazy bleed out. And I was like, before I hit perimenopause, I need to get some of that underwear and just wear it every day in case there's like all of a sudden.
Ah. That happened to our mom. She had a 50-day bleed.
What?
Yeah, it'd be nice to just have
Is that the
something.
end? Is that how it ends? A big hurrah?
Oh,
For some.
No, I don't think so.
Fuck.
She got mean.
And you know what? We shouldn't find out about this when we're 40, right? That should be part of the.
Oh, I've ordered.
too.
There's a book. The lady who wrote the Vagina Bible is writing a book's coming out in May called The Menopause Manifesto. People are asking her to write it because it's really hard to find really a good, reliable information about menopause. So I bought one for myself because I need to know ahead of time. I want to know beforehand. I don't want to have to figure it out as I go along. And then I bought one for Sarah too.
Oh, good. I was
pre-ordered them.
Because I had one day, my period is super late, and then I had the weird blowout where I was thank goodness I was home. I was like running. All of a sudden it felt like, I don't know, like a pop. And then all of a sudden I was like, what is happening? And I had to run to the bathroom as it's dripping, like just pouring down my legs. It's like, what the hell?
Have you had
That's
an
a thing.
internal ultrasound of late? Or do you save all that for when you're in Canada?
Yeah, I haven't had it since. I honestly haven't had anything since I had Ita 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was just going to say it sounds like something maybe.
Oh, and now I'm getting my period every 23 days. So I was super late, and now it's like every 23 days.
Yeah, but was it really painful when you had that
No.
popping thing? Was it like an extreme, like, I'm going to die pain? Or no? It was just the blood? Because I've had cysts. Oh.
No, like there was cramping. Like I felt pain, but I wouldn't say like I'm going to die pain.
I think I've had a situation like that before. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had cysts. Yeah, it hurts. Cysts are like, yeah, it feels like you have this like wave of like, I'm going to pass out. It's so bad. Like you can see stars.
Oh, actually, I did feel like a little bit like, sweaty, like I'm going to pass out. I wouldn't say I was in pain, but I felt
So it could be.
like I've lost too much blood. I'm dizzy and I'm like, oh my God, what is happening?
But before,
That might
like when
be
I've had what
sick.
I would describe like that, I had a really like concentrated pain, like as if I felt the location of the cyst, right? And the same thing that you said, Shwai, it's like really hot, really like nauseous for a minute. And then and you can tell it starts as a normal cramp, but it like kind of like fine tunes right onto a point. And then it's like run. Like if you're not if you are in
I'd
public,
run.
run.
I'd run to the bathroom. I can't even imagine if I was out in public. Like I would be
Right?
brutal.
That's why these underwear would be nice
I would have
to
been
have.
It's true, because I was at Peggy's when that happened to me. I was at the convenience store and I had to find a bathroom, which was not
Very
in the convenience
inconvenient.
store, totally. And yeah, the only inconvenient thing about the convenience store. And I ran to wherever I ran. Oh, it was the groceries. Anyways, I left my fucking bloody underpants in the garbage because
You
I was
had
like,
to.
these
Not
are
bad
done.
that you-
And I had a really short dress on and it was windy. And it was like,
Oh no.
Ooh, daddy.
The thing is, I just don't like the idea of having to start like carrying a purse. Like, I do not like to carry a purse. I have like a tiny little wallet, but if I'm going to be carrying
I
around
don't carry a purse, but a backpack. But I like
Yeah.
supplies. Yeah.
how much
the
do you
backpack,
love
I
your
like got
Diva cup
stolen.
now?
Hmm?
How
Fanny
much do you
pack
love your
spread.
Diva cup?
I love it.
Love
I
my
I
Diva.
started using a cup when
Me
I was
too.
17 and I loved it. I was like, this is amazing. And then I stopped, like, because they wear out after a certain amount of time. And I guess I just didn't get another one. Oh, I know why. Because I was like partying too hard in university. And I was just like, I can't do this responsibly. I just want something I can throw out. So I started using tampons in university. But then I started using it again, I don't know when, like in my 30s. And it's
I
great.
love it. Like I recently did it, like maybe a year ago. And the best thing, it's kind of like when you quit smoking. Like when you're a smoker, you never run out of smokes. You're fully aware if you're coming down to the end of your pack, and that means buy
Yeah.
another pack. You do not want to find yourself as a smoker smokeless. And same thing with tampons. Like you guys talk about fanny packs and purses. Like I have like a pencil case in my bag that was anyways the tampon stash, so that you would never not have them. And just like smokes, anyways, when I quit smoking, part of the freedom of that was looking at my purse and it would be empty and I'd be like, I don't have to go get a pack of smokes. Like I don't smoke and I don't feel like getting it. Like I don't have, because that was a manifestation of the addiction. I could feel that, like,
Yes.
better go get some more smokes. Like,
Yeah.
and the same thing with my Dixie cup or Diva cup.
Dixie, no! She is using all products wrong! No!
Dixie cup. Yeah. I'm using Dixie cups. They're way cheaper. They leak, but after your fourth use, anyways.
She's putting them inside,
But
right?
the Diva cup.
Oh my God! Don't do that!
It might not work the same way. but
Dixie
I'm not
cup.
an expert.
It's like decomposing or like
Lord,
composting in
no.
my tunnel.
Somebody!
My
please.
sausage passage.
We're coming over. You need a lesson.
Okay. So I just love the idea of knowing all I need is this clean one piece of silicone and I'm good. Like you don't have to worry, do I have tampons in them?
Sarah, don't get Kim to have the conversation
I
with
won't.
Nikki.
Sorry. I can tell her what not to do.
Yeah.
I'm teasing.
Don't do it.
I'm so teasing. But it is over 1
I
in the
can't use the
morning,
Diva
I
cup.
think.
It hurts. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I can't use them. It's my endometriosis or whatever goes on. If I put it on, it's like severe pain. So
Yeah, not everybody can use them. That's the other thing. It's not everyone can use them.
I think I'm a border of that then. I don't think I have like endometriosis, but I'm like right up against the uterine wall of endometriosis, like, because I sometimes feel that pain. And same thing with my tampons though, even, right? Like it's like it's irritating your cervix or something. Like I don't know. Yeah,
sometimes I can. Yeah,
I don't like them either.
Yes, I
I
agree.
just don't like tampons anymore. I'm 40 now. I don't like them. I just don't like them anymore. Does anyone else get that way?
I did, though, for people who are using the Diva Cup, recently read an article. I am the same way. Yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. About how you take your Diva Cup out is really important. To create an air pocket. Otherwise, you're causing suction and you could cause outie syndrome. I believe it's called outie syndrome.
Now I'm probably doing that with my history. That's probably what I do.
Yeah, it's probably like
That's
you're
literally
using it like a toilet plunger. You're just toilet plunging it. Yeah, you'll end up
Sideways.
like giving it. Yeah, you have to like with your finger like create an air pocket and then like scoop it out so that you're not don't just. I used to pull it by the tabby. Don't do that.
Oh no. You can like if you have it like near the top, you can just kind of like squeeze it. It'll break the seal, and then you
Yes, by
can like
pinching
Break
the
the seal.
bottom.
Break the seal.
Yeah.
I can't even talk about this not breaking of the seal. It's
Mhm.
Oh, really? That makes you feel sick?
Oh, I knew.
Even up against your dislike of tampons? Like, this is an alternative.
No, she doesn't like this suction idea.
Yeah, that suction idea. Anything that gets to, I knew from a very young age, I never wanted to be, a doctor or a nurse, like without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, so that was getting a bit too close to.
I just like boiled my Diva cup again last night because, like, you know, it says you can just wash it with soap, but really you should boil it regularly. And I even got like a little, there's little like holes on the side. And I even got like a little brush. I got a little brush and like cleaned up the holes and like.
Did you name your Diva cup?
No.
Is your Diva cup's name Whitney?
It is now.
Diva.
Oh my gosh,
It is now.
Mine's
It is now.
Aretha
Whitney.
near my urethra.
Oh.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Book Interrupted. If you'd like to see the video highlights from this episode, please go to our YouTube channel, Book Interrupted. You can also find our videos on www.bookinterrupted.com.
The impact books have on our lives is not limited to the words written between the covers. Some books inspire new thoughts and send us to unexpected places. Follow me, Meredith, every Sunday as I descend further and further in my recurring blog segment, Down the Rabbit Hole, at www.bookinterrupted.com/blog. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Book Interrupted.
Moments you can look forward to on next week's Book Interrupted.
But no water, like none. And then reading the book, I'm like, how am I alive?
That actually never will occur because all the research was done on men.
PMDD, premenstrual dysmorphic disorder, and I'm not diagnosed and I don't know, but
Like, this is the worst and I'm anticipating it and I'm feeling emotional about it and I'm worried
And being like, whatever, I feel bad. I'm just going to have a glass of wine or two.
Actually get a pumpkin and dry the pumpkin seeds myself. And then
You just go take it to the next level.
Book Interrupted.